All right, we're now beginning Rounders, Part 4, I believe, with NGC1502. It is an open cluster at 4 hours, 7 minutes, 49 seconds, plus 62 degrees in declination, 19 minutes and 54 seconds in Campbell-Pardis. Its visual combined magnitude is 5.7. Its size is 8 arc minutes. According to Steve Gottlieb, a 13-inch scope, his view on 12884, bright, striking cluster, 40 stars visible in a trapezoidal outline. There is no question that we are picking these up tonight. We are viewing, of course, at a mere 40x, and I don't think I'm going to play with magnification on star clusters. It's a type 2 3P, meaning stars are moderately disparate in their magnitude and fairly well spread out. Visual magnitude 6.9, and the dimensions, it says, is 20 arc minutes. Given the fact we got about a degree and maybe 20 minutes, maybe 80 minutes of field there, it looks a little small for 20 arc minutes. But keep in mind what Steve said is this cluster should have, with a 40 stars should be visible, and I would say clearly, if we count them, it'll get pretty close to that, and even more if I were to push the magnification. Well, we're being blocked on NGC 1513, so we're going to have to push on to NGC 1528. You can see the number of stars is 0. And I do believe the same thing goes for NGC 1528, which is 51 degrees, and it's being blocked because of the late hour being blocked by the roof of the garage, even though I pushed the scope a little further out. Let's go to 1530 next. Okay, here we should be seeing NGC 1530. It is a galaxy. It's in Campbell-Pardis at 4 hours, 23 minutes, 26.7 seconds, plus 75 degrees, 1744 on the declination. Going to have to push the magnification on this one up. It's basically an 11.5 magnitude galaxy, size 4.6 by 2.4, with an average surface brightness of 13.9 and a position angle of 17 degrees. We, of course, don't see it anywhere on the screen. And we will now push it up to about 100%, and there is our galaxy that mysteriously appears at 5 times the magnification. Let me tell you what Steve Gottlieb has to say about it. All right, this was done through a 24-inch scope on December 28th, 2013. At 200x, appeared fairly bright, large, elongated nearly 3 to 2 north to south. Roughly 3.5 by 2.2 arc minutes, so he was seeing about 75% of it. Contains a large, brighter, circular core with a very large, elongated halo. Low contrast, thin spiral arm is attached on the west side of the core and sweeps north at the edge of the halo, and a similar enhancement is visible on the east side extending due south. 2 mag-15 stars, 22 arc-second separation, are superimposed on the northeast side, 1.1 minute from the center, and a mag 12.8 star lies 2.5 arc minutes to the north. Through a 13-inch scope, done in 1985, fairly faint, fairly large, very diffuse, almost round, gradual, weak concentration. It's a type SBB spiral in Campbell-Pardis. I think we're getting a pretty good view, and I want to push the magnification even further. Okay, so now at a super high magnification, we're seeing some extensions going off in these directions with a brightish core, a little bit diffuse. So this is somewhere probably between the 13-inch and the 24-inch, probably closer to the 24-inch view at a fantastic magnification. There is our first galaxy in the new Rounders list, NGC 1530. I can't find any matched triangles. That's a little bit weird. Maybe it's because I'm shifting something, I don't know. This should be NGC1504. It's a galaxy. Let's confirm it on the handset. Galaxy at 5 hours, 2 minutes, 36 seconds, plus 86 degrees, 13 and 20 seconds, encephalus. Visual magnitude 13.2. Was pretty little, probably about the right size for a 13th magnitude galaxy. 1.3 by 0.9, with an average surface brightness of 13.1 and a position angle of 130 degrees. And its blue-violet is 14.5, visual is 13.6, so it's pretty close to being lenticular in that characteristic. Let's see what happens when we zoom in on this one. A little hard to tell, but the galaxy is probably located right there. And I'll give you Steve's, if I get the right one here, 1544. He doesn't seem to have had any notes on this one, or I did not transcribe them. Anyway, surface brightness of 13.1 should give a pretty good view, and I'm not seeing it. This could very well be a star. Okay, still got our settings in the right place. Not quite making this baby out. Let's move on. Okay, we're being blocked on NGC 1545, which is open cluster in Perseus. I won't provide any data. It's getting very cold out. I just want to capture the things that we actually can look at this evening. Okay, what we should be seeing now is NGC 1560. And I don't think I'm seeing anything. Oh, right in here, there's a fairly large region of nebulosity right across there. It's ill-focused, undefined. And this should be NGC 1560. It's a galaxy in Camelopardalis. It's at 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 48.9 seconds, plus 71 degrees, 52 minutes, and 59 seconds. Magnitude 11.4, but the size is very large, as you would expect, 9.8 by 1.7, with an average surface brightness of 14.3 and a position angle of 23 degrees. Through a 17.5-inch scope, Steve Gottlieb says, in February 20 of 1995, fairly faint, very large, 6 by 1, low surface brightness, edge on, south-southwest to north-northeast, broad weak concentration with no distinct core, but there is a central 2 arc-minute size brightening. It's a galaxy of type SCD, so fairly immature. It's got a visual magnitude of 12.1 and a blue-violet of 12.1, 11.4 for visual magnitude, but it's got surface brightness of 14.2 magnitudes. So there is our vague suspicions of a galaxy right in there. Boy, that is incredibly vague. If I expand this up, we do tend to get a little bit more of it, but I would make no claims on this. Very, very faint, low average surface brightness galaxy. There we go. Okay, our next image is going to be of another galaxy, NGC 1569, also known as ARC 210. It is 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 48.6 seconds in right ascension, 64 degrees, 50 minutes, and 56 seconds in Camelopardalis. Visual magnitude of 11, 3.6 by 1.8 arc minutes with an average surface brightness of 12.9 and a position angle of 120. 20 through a 13-inch telescope. It's very bright, elongated 2 to 1, west-northwest to east-southeast, and it has a high surface brightness. All right, I do believe I'm seeing it in there. It's tiny. And as we zoom, we may actually get another look at a galaxy here. And yes, we are. And a sweetie it is. Look at that, 200% gain. Wow. Very close to that bright star. Let's run it back just a little bit to improve to 100%, to improve the visuals. That is a fine look, comparable at least to the 13.1-inch description given by Steve Gottlieb. So now we will go on to our next study. That was NGC 1569. Okay, we're looking at the region of NGC 1573. And there will be an A, but I don't think I can navigate to it using this handset. We are at 4 hours, 35 minutes, 4 seconds, plus 73 degrees, 15 minutes, 45 seconds in Camelot, Dallas. This is an 11.7 magnitude galaxy, a little small, 1.9 by 1.3, with an average surface brightness of 12.7 and a position angle of 35 degrees, through a 17.5-inch scope. On January 23rd, 93, Steve says it's moderately bright, fairly small, elongated 3 to 2 aspect ratio, south-southwest and north-northeast, gradually brighter halo, very small, brighter core. It's a galaxy type E, elliptical, in Camelot Dallas. And let's see what we can make out. Double the magnification, about 40, there it is. Double it again, and we have a view. So we went from 40 to 80 to 160. Pushing it up further, we can really push it. We're starting to get a sense of extensions here and maybe a vague sense of spiralicity out in these locations here. We're very diffuse. I would say it's definitely there. The core blends bright. The core, it does not look stellar. It extends out to kind of a halo, and then beyond that, we see some faint nebulosity extending off into space. There is our view at, let's see, we'll call this 400x. Wow. We're not going to have a view of open cluster NGC 1605. We are being blocked. It's too far, progressed too far west. Let's move on to see if we can turn. Oh, we're not going to see 1624 in Perseus either. Likewise blocked by the garage wall. We have 2 more studies to look at. It's an open cluster in Camelot Dallas. It's at 52 degrees. I think we will have some difficulty with it too. But let's give it a shot. No go on NGC 1708 open cluster either. And NGC 1724 open cluster in, let's see, in Auriga won't be seen as well. Too far south, blocking the wall. Okay, we're back to a low power view of Messier 81. I'm closing up the door to the garage. I needed it for light to be able to read from the notes. Should be seeing Messier 81 and 82 in here somewhere. You can vaguely make out the spiralicity of the arms in Messier 81 at 40x. And we shall push it and give it a chance to do some multi-stacking. Go to full size on the image. Shift it around to get perfect centering. And push it to the center. And here we have our view of Messier 81. It's a little bit overpowering on the on the Sony Handycam, unfortunately. Got 2 bars left. unless I can think of something else we want to see, maybe 188. I think NGC 188, well, you go ahead and have a look at this with the 2 bars left. I believe 188 is the closest usually visible galaxy to Polaris. Let me go ahead and put it in the handset. You have a look at the galaxy there. Look at the declination. Nope, it says it's only 44 degrees, so it's not the one I had in mind. I can go look inside. Let's put the scope on Messier 82 now while I go and see if I can turn up the galaxy that's closest. Okay, wow, that is really overexposed on the Sony Handycam, isn't it? So here's our view of both Messier 81 and 82. Quite broken up as far as I can tell, but I don't know that we're going to see that kind of detail on the Sony Handycam. So we'll zoom in, make it as large as feasible so you can make out some of the detail. I'll go over to here. I'll be able to center the image on the screen nicely, and then I'm going to go off and have a look. Well, I'm going to just keep pushing this baby. 200%. Wow. Zowie. Go inside, have a look in the book, and see if I can get the NGC denomination of, yeah, it's supposed to be NGC 188. I don't know why it was showing it being so far south. But there's our view of Messier 81. We're going to call this Carpe Noctem. And we have now proceeded through a series of, continuing our rounder series of galaxies, clusters, and planetary nebula, and some emissive nebula that I have decided that since I now have a portable scope that can be carried out of the garage, that I will now be able to look to the north and turn up some very important deep sky studies, which comprise ultimately about 10% of the NGC catalog as I continue to go through and survey it. Carpe Noctem.